I remember sitting in a big company meeting. 5 people out of 100 were being called up to receive an award. The room was clapping. I was clapping. And I genuinely was happy for them. But underneath, something else was happening. A quiet voice. Why not me? How and when will I be enough? I had been at that company for years. I had delivered, over-delivered, again and again, and I still felt like I was running. It took me a long time to understand why it never felt like enough. And in this video, I'm gonna save you that time. Hi everybody, if you're new here, I'm Andri. I went from particle physics research at CERN and Oxford to a senior data lead role at a Fortune 50 company for 5.5 years. Now I'm an empowerment coach, helping high achievers stop feeling like they're never enough and build a life they actually want. Let's get into it. I want to start with 3 things that I genuinely loved. The number 1 is the people, some of the most extraordinary humans I have ever been in a room with, always ready to help, from the most junior colleague all the way to SVPs. The second thing was the structure, a process and a person for everything, which gave me something that I hadn't expected, a real sense of fairness. The third thing was the creative freedom, space to come up with an idea, build a quick first version, show early results, and scale if it worked. But here's the thing that nobody told me before I walked through those doors. The same system that gave me all of that was also quietly pressing every single one of my insecurity buttons, and I had no idea it was happening. I'm going to share 3 realities that I wish I had known even before entering, not because I wouldn't have wanted to join, but because I think it would have shaped my expectations, my actions, and my reactions in a way that was healthier for me. The first reality is what I call the rating treadmill, and once you see it, you'll start recognizing it everywhere. At the start of the year, you and your manager agree on 5 goals that you need to deliver by the end of the year. The middle of the year arrives. You review how things are going, check if anything needs to change or pivot. Great, blue skies. Then the end of the year arrives. And let's say you delivered not only those 5, you delivered 7 because you're that good. You over-delivered. And then the conversation shifts because so did Jennifer and so did Jonathan and pretty much everybody else on the team. And now the question isn't, did you deliver? It's who delivered more dollars to the company. You are ranked, compared, and it's decided whether you get an exceptional rating, a very good one, or just good. Now, in practice, this might be a few percentage points difference on your salary increase. Nothing that changes your everyday life in any meaningful way. But here's what's not small. What it does to the part of you that has been working since childhood to prove that you are good enough. That part doesn't hear, you got a very good rating. That part hears, you are not exceptional. You're not the best student. You're not the best kid. Try harder to be valued, to be loved, to belong. And so you go back and you run faster and longer. And next cycle, you still do 7 things, but bigger, more impactful, shinier, more dollars. And the bar moves again. Here's how it also shows up in awards culture. Say every quarter in a big company meeting, 5 people out of 100 will get recognized. They get called up. They get applauded. Congratulations to Jennifer for delivering the project ahead of schedule and moving the needle on X. This is exactly the kind of impact we celebrate here. And the other 95? They clap, they smile, they congratulate Jennifer warmly because they genuinely are happy for her. But underneath, something quieter happens. A question forms. Why not me? Am I not moving fast enough? Not visible enough? How and when will I be enough? And they leave that meeting with one goal, to be on that podium next time. The machine only needed to show them the podium and broadcast what it took to get there. Here's what I would invite you to sit with. The difference between exceptional, very good, and good probably won't change your life. So what story are you telling yourself to justify running this hard? The second reality is what I call the control illusion. You can control a lot about your output, your effort, your quality, your delivery, and when others are the bottleneck, you're trained on how to navigate that too. But your destiny inside a big corporate, that's a different story. And this is the part that surprised me the most, because it comes from the very same thing that I told you I loved: the structure, the process, the fairness. It's the same coin, just the other side. The first example is your manager. Somewhere in the organization, someone moves roles. A domino falls, and that domino effect lands on you with a new manager you didn't choose, didn't interview, didn't select. Maybe they're wonderful. Maybe they're exactly the kind of leader you thrive under. Or maybe they have a completely different style, different expectations, a different definition of what exceptional looks like. And now you start again. Relearn their preferences, rebuild trust, prove yourself again to someone who doesn't yet know what you're capable of. The second example is your promotion and salary. There is a process, yes, timelines, criteria, bands, all documented. That same structure that felt so fair. But here's the other side of that coin. Even if you're extraordinary, if there's no open role above you, you wait. The domino needs to move first. And your salary? It lives inside a band. It doesn't go above a certain number. Full stop, regardless of how exceptional you are. And yes, you can argue that being visible to the right people is something you can influence. That's true. But what I realized later is that a significant chunk of my energy was going into exactly that. Managing upwards and across, staying visible, being in the right rooms, on top of the actual work. That's another layer of exhaustion that nobody warns you about. Here's what I would invite you to reflect on. What am I spending energy on that I can't control anyway? The third reality is what I call the opportunity trap. And this one is the one that I wish someone had named for me earliest of all. Big corporates, especially the prestigious ones, the ones high achievers compete to get into, they are extraordinarily good at one thing. They know what makes driven people, insecure overachievers, tick. And they use it. Not maliciously. There is no meeting room where somebody says, let's exploit insecure overachievers. It's more subtle than that. It's baked into the system. Here's how it works. You get approached, usually when you are already at capacity, and you're told, we would love for you to take on this additional workload. It's a great opportunity for visibility, and it will really accelerate your growth. Now, you know that the load is significant, the timeline is tight, there is no salary increase and no promotion attached, not yet at least. But it's framed as a privilege. And so you say yes, because something lights up inside you. Wow, they chose me. I don't want to let them down. I'll show them what I can do. I need to put everything into this. And everyone around you congratulates you. You accept it with a big smile. And the organization gets more output. And you get the feeling of being chosen. For someone wired to prove their worth, that feeling is almost as good as a promotion. Almost. But here's what I actually think is going on underneath all of this. You would think the solution is to say no more often, to protect your time, to be more strategic. And yes, those things help. But the real issue isn't the workload. It's that the system knew you would say yes before you even opened your mouth. Because the system didn't just discover this about you. It selected you for it. You need to prove yourself, to be chosen, to be seen as exceptional. That's not a bug. It's the trait it hired you for. I would welcome you to reflect on the last time you said yes to something big. Was it for you or for how it would look? I shared all three of these not to scare you away from corporate, but because seeing the system clearly is the first step to making conscious choices inside it, instead of being quietly shaped by it without realizing. If any of this felt familiar, and especially if you recognize yourself in that feeling of never being quite enough, this next video is the one to watch. It's called 7 Signs You're an Insecure Overachiever. And you can find it over here. See you there. Bye.